Leave me alone, bro. I'm trying to do my work. I said, leave me alone, bro. I'm trying to do my work. Fuck you said, bro.
Haha, Dom the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2 comes violent, first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone, I'm a charger, don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted.
What's up, everybody? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor now. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. I want to tell everybody welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name's Frog, and everything we talk about over here is prison related. Whether I talk about what'll help you make it through your bid if you ever find yourself incarcerated, or whether I tell you about the experience and things that I've seen and witnessed with my own 2 eyes while I was doing my sentence down here in the state of Florida. For this video, man, I'm gonna be talking about a situation that took place in the school building when I was in there trying to get my GED. All right, now let me go ahead and put this out there, let y'all know off rip, education is one of the most important things in your life. All right, so if you get locked up and you're incarcerated and you're doing some time, shit, you might as well go ahead and try to get as many diplomas and trades as you can as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I ended up getting my GED, and then I ended up getting state certified in environmental services. You see what I'm saying? So you can get trades, you can get any type of certificate that you're kind of trying to get that they actually, you know, do inside a prison. You could do that shit for free and less of the time. You understand? So on this particular day, we was inside the school building. Like I said, I was in there, you know, going for my GED. All right. I only made it to 7th grade on the streets. I dropped out at a young age, bought me a car, and went to selling dope. Wasn't even trying to get my education. You feel me? Everybody else would be in school, and I'd be sliding by that bus stop in my car at a young age with my learner's permit. I ain't even have my full license yet, riding around slanging. I ain't have time for school. So while I was in the chain gang, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get my GED. So I was in the school building on this particular day, you know, because I was in GED class, and there was 2 people in there. You know, I was kind of cool with both of them because we're in the same class. You know, we see each other every day. Even if y'all don't, you know each other or fought with each other like that, you're gonna know who each other are, because classrooms are only so big. You know, it ain't like there's 300 people in the class. No, there's literally like 20 to 23 to 25 maybe. So throughout the days, he's gonna hear the teacher calling your name, you're gonna hear the teacher calling his name. Y'all might answer each other's questions, you know, shit like that. So I knew both of these dudes. And every day, you know, they like bickered at each other. You feel what I'm saying? They would like go back and forth. You know, they would be bickering and nagging at each other, you know. So to me, it was only a matter of time till they actually got into a, you know, real deal physical altercation. So as many times as I seen them about to fight, it was just a matter of time, you know what I'm saying? That fuse was running low. One of them was probably finna spark soon. So they're sitting here arguing and shit or whatever. The first thing the one dude told him is, man, leave me alone, bro. I'm trying to do my work. You feel me? The other dude said, man, I don't care about that shit, man. I don't care nothing about none of that, bro. And then he said some other shit to him. And he's like, bro, so you ain't finna leave me alone, bro? I'm trying to do my work. He's like, man, fuck all that, bro. Da, 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 da. He kept going. So the one dude shoved his, like, books, got up, got in the other dude's face. They went to arguing and shit right then and there. And at this time, we're inside of the computer area. You feel me? Because when you're in prison down here, you know, they're gonna have you do a lot of work, like on different programs that are like installed on the computer. So the outer wall had a few computers around it. So we're sitting on the computer, you know, everybody go to getting loud and shit, you go to looking. So they get in each other's face, you know. As soon as I turn my head, like, man, they ain't finna bump. These boys just be talking shit every day. They ain't finna bump. As soon as I go to turn my head, all of a sudden you hear, what? So I look back one more time, and he stole him. As soon as he stole him, the other dude locked up with him, and they started bumping. Brr, brr, right inside of the school building, you feel me? Went all up against the computers. Like, they did a decent little brawl, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like it was he split them and then it got separated. The dude that got stolen his shit, you know, he tried to lock up with the dude, like, you know, like grapple him, like grab him. And the other dude fell against the computer. He's hitting him like this. That dude's hitting him like this. Like, they was bumping a little bit. You got the female in there, which is the teacher. She was an older woman. She can't do shit but call for security to come because there's no officers in the school building, okay? They do their rounds. They'll come walk through, and around count time, they'll come in there, count all the heads, and go, you feel me? So they got in this little brawl now. So once this brawl takes off like that, she runs, grabs up, gets on the phone to call Security 9 to come in there. One of the dudes now ends up going right where the computer was and reaches behind it and pulls out a knife. So I'm like, oh shit, you feel me? So now everyone else jumps up, gets away from the shit, you know, backs up and is watching it from a distance now because, you know, you don't want to be an innocent bystander and fuck around and get hit in the back of the head or something, you know, with a banger, just because you sitting there like, don't get me wrong now, your education is important, you feel me? But I'll be damned, bro, you're not going to sit there in the middle of a shootout and still try to get the answers to number 7 right, you feel me? So everybody gets up off the desk, we back up, they bumping. The one dude with the knife, he swung that bitch, boom, boom, boom. He hit him like 2 times. Out of the 2 times he hit him, once that dude got hit with them bitches, you could hear it in him, like, you know, he sounded like a horse, like he grunted real loud, you know, like that, you feel me? Once he got hit, so you could tell that shit punctured the skin, you know, that shit went in. They're still fighting and shit. The dude starts bleeding. Now, the Security 9 runs in there. Once they run in there, they make us all leave the school building, and they end up gassing them inside the classroom. You know, because when it's a situation that serious, whether it's me or you, nobody's going to want to give up. We done took it this far, so they're going to have to restrain us. We're so committed that we're not laying down now. This dude's, whether you're the one with the knife or you're the one that got hit with the knife. If you got hit with the knife, you damn sure ain't trying to lay down and shit like that and just let him get off like that. You're going to be so hot and angry that this dude just wet you and, you know, try to take you out the game and shit that you're going to, you know, you're going to have your adrenaline and shit pumping. Same thing with the dude with the knife. You feel me? You just wet this dude. You know what I'm saying? So you're obviously taking that shit to severe if you hit them, so you know you ain't gonna just want to lay down. So they exit us all out of the front of the school building and they gassed them boys in there. We had to wait for they actually had to open the windows and air it out for a while. They sent us all back to our dorm. We wasn't allowed to go back in there that day. That canceled our, you know, like wiped our slate with doing our schoolwork that day, and they sent us back to the dorm because they had to air that shit out from the gas. So these 2 dudes get in trouble to go to confinement, right? Now, it gets deeper than this though, right? So after they go to confinement or whatnot, for the next 3 days that we were in the school building, a bunch of dudes just kept getting like beat up, hit, you know, and what it was is one of them was actually affiliated, you know what I'm saying? And when anything happens like that with someone's brother, regardless if they're right or wrong, the gang is gonna rise and ride with them. 9 times out of 10. Now, it depends on where you land at and how loyal the gangs are. Because throughout my bid, I seen a shitload of gangs leave their brothers out there in that water during wartime. You feel me? Or they won't want to go to war and back their brother, so they'll literally like leave him out there on his own. You know, they'll just be like, shit, he's on his own, you feel me? Or they'll wet their own kind to prevent war with another organization. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying? It all depends. When you're in prison, you're going to see the goods, the bad, the flaws, the uglies, the reals, the fakes, all that about gangs. You know what I'm saying? That's why if you ain't affiliated and you always wanted to be affiliated, if you ask live that thuggish life, wait till you end up going up the road and you see what them organizations are like. You're going to see things you never knew existed inside of that organization once you're incarcerated. You feel me? You're going to learn shit to where you might have a second thought about joining a gang. You feel me? But so for the next 2-3 days, when people were getting wet, beat up and shit like that, a war actually struck. And what it was is, one was affiliated. The other dude that wasn't affiliated's cousin was there, and he was affiliated. So between that cousin's gang and the dude that was in the altercation that was in the gang, 2 gangs were bumping heads now. Now, it was crazy because, you know, the officers, you know, yeah, they control the compound for most parts, but it depends on what institution you land at. You feel me? It's like, you know, a lot of people always want to say, oh, you wasn't at a max camp or you wasn't at a high level camp or anything like that. Well, shit, down here in the state of Florida, you know, we go up to like level 7 if you look it up. You feel me? Level 7 is the highest levels we have. All right. And we don't really go off levels, but the level would mean security level. You know, security level, a high security level isn't really that scary. There isn't nothing really bad about that. It isn't like, oh, this is where all the killers are, because you got killers that are in work release centers. You got killers that are in low custody work camps. People that got community custody that'll smack your ass, hit you across the face with a knife. You see what I'm saying? But the higher the level is down here in Florida, the more security it is, the more lockdown it is, the more fences, the more controlled movements, the more they actually transport you to where you need to go. The less altercations there are because there's more security than anything. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not really that good being in a high-leveled camp down here because that's just more cameras or more officers. You know, there's less shit you can do, you feel me? Well, at this camp, it was supposed to be a high-security camp, but they didn't care. We ran around free, roamed, did whatever the hell we want to do. Y'all can look Charlotte CI up on YouTube. You can type in Charlotte Correctional Institution. You can look it up on Google. You can look up the mortality sheet, and you'll see that bodies was dropping. You feel me? And that's where a majority of my footage was recorded at Charlotte CI. One of the most deadliest camps in the state of Florida. You feel me? I know people from different coasts be like, oh, that shit ain't nothing but a kiddie camp. Down there, that's a kiddie camp compared to what? Okay, well, bitches was dying at our kiddie camps. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what they must be doing at y'all's serious ones. You know what I'm saying? If they dying at our kiddie camps, then I don't know what's worse it could get. You feel me? But anyways, so for the next 3 days when this shit was going on, gang members was coming inside of the school building with knives, doing like walkthroughs, looking for anybody that was part of the other gang. You feel me? And the way the school building's set up, it was just one long building, and it was classrooms with a door that cut through to each other classroom. So you'd literally see like one gang walk in, they'd be like 4 or 5 deep. You know what I'm saying? And 3 of them would come from like this last classroom, and 2 of them would come from the first classroom, and they would walk like this, and they'd end up cutting through the classes. Teachers would be like, get out of here, you're not in this class. Get out of here, what are you doing in here? And they would just look at the teacher and just keep walking right by her and cut through to the next one. You feel me? They was in there head hunting. They was in there looking for the, you know, their ops, the people they were going against, their rivals at that time. And then I swear it was like clockwork. Like 10 minutes later, the next gang would do it. Like they're looking for them now. You feel me? And in my mind, I'm like, what they keep doing that shit for? Like, you feel me? Because it keeps you on your P's and Q's. You know, I understand someone got wet, or I understand one of their people's wet somebody, or whatever it may have been. But at the same time, it keeps you on your P's and Q's because you're like, bitch, they over here looking for something. It might be you. You know? Like, y'all ain't found what y'all looking for after 3 days? You see what I'm saying? And a little petty little argument inside the school building turned into a knife fight. That's simple. Like, I don't know if the dude that had grabbed a banger was just that mad from all the bickering and had that shit built up in him that he couldn't wait. Or he woke up on the wrong side of the bed and said, you know what, I'm finna wet a bitch today. Or I'm gonna make an example. Or whatever it was. But the dude who pulled the knife, he wasn't even like losing the fight. Yeah, he got points in his shit or whatever, but he did his thing when he rushed them, slammed them into the computers, and they went to bumping. You know, he was holding his ground. Like, there was no cause or no reason for a knife to be pulled, but he still pulled the knife out and did what he had to do. You see what I'm saying? And due to that, it done started a war between 2 organizations, when really he could have just whooped his ass or just took an ass whooping. But it don't really work like that, you feel me? And after 2-3 days went by, the teachers started peeping that shit. The teachers were scared to come back to work. So they didn't let us go to school for a whole week. 1 whole week, they kept us in the dorm. They bucked us when we were supposed to go to school. School building was closed, and the officers were going around and they were doing sweeps. We went through massive shakedowns. They found so many different knives in so many different dorms, knocked off so many cell phones, so much Tunchi, so much tobacco, so much Molly, so much Xanax, anything you could think of, steroids, the needles, all that shit, everything was knocked off. Like, throughout this whole week, they did a massive shakedown because the teachers were scared to come back to work because Security 9 wasn't doing their job by preventing people who weren't in education coming through education, okay? And when they did the shakedown, check this out. When they did the shakedown, they put us on the yard, right? Out there on the rec yard. When they finally hit our dorm, they were like rotating each dorm. While we're out there on the rec yard, they're searching the dorms looking for knives and shit. Another dude gets wet up that was part of one of the gangs. So as y'all had the officers was in there looking for the knives and shit, someone brought the knife on the rec yard and used it on an inmate. They didn't find the dude who wet the dude, but the other dude did get all wet up. He got transported into medical. You see what I'm saying? So that shit never stops. It kept going. You feel me? And it's all because they was arguing inside of the school building, man. That's why your ass got to be on your P's and Q's. And I'm going to be real with you. When it comes to shit like this, when it comes to knives and having bangers and shit, I'd rather get caught with one than to get caught without one. You may never need a knife while you are in prison, okay? You may never need this on anybody at all. But it doesn't mean you better not have one. Because when it goes down, people are coming, literally. And people don't care. Some people ain't got shit to lose. And you know, people got it in the back of their mind, like no matter what cost it is, no matter what the outcome is, whether it's consequences, repercussions, or any of that shit, I will not lose. That's how people have it built in their mind. And people will pull these bitches out and use them on you all the time. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, shit, I'm in there just fucking trying to educate myself, and this shit goes down. So put a little, you know, a little pushback on my education, because they come around and they do testing for you to actually take the real GED. It's like once every like either 4 or 6 months. And I guess you know, it was right around the time when we were supposed to do testing. So ain't no testing this institution this week. Bucked us, had to wait a whole nother about 4 to 6 months just to take the test again, when I could have got it the first time, and then I could have got a job now. I didn't have to be in school building no more. You feel me? But that shit's crazy. You know, you never know what's gonna happen. Little arguments turn into bigger shit. You ain't even gotta be arguing. It could just be a remark. You know what I'm saying? Someone can walk by and say something, and you could say something back to them, and then they could just go, and you'd be like, what the fuck was that for? What you mean, bro? Like, what, you think I'm a joke or something? Like, what you feel me? Like, and then what are you talking about? And the next thing you know, that shit just turned into a fight, or they'll look at you in your face and be like, yeah, that's what I thought. You feel me? And then the other person will be quiet, like, man, whatever, and walk off. But that dude that said whatever went and grabbed him a knife, came back, took that shit to the extreme. It's the type of shit you got to look out for while you're in prison, okay? I'm going to keep on giving y'all these real spill, these stories from shit that I recall while I was in prison. And people probably be wondering, damn, bro, after all these years, bro, how you still got stories about prison? And I say this shit several times. I never even put out all the good shit. You feel me? Same thing with the Kfrogtv footage. Like I said, I only released about 30% of it. I never even put out all the real good shit yet. You feel me? And this shit don't stop. You know, and I was at one of the violentest camps in Florida. If y'all want to look up Charlotte CI now, Charlotte Correctional Institution, and y'all will see. You know, shit happened every single day in prison. There wasn't a day that went by where something didn't happen. If it didn't happen physically to me, or in front of me, or around me, it happened somewhere else on the compound, and we were put on lockdown for it. The helicopter airlifted someone, the ambulance was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, every single day something happens in prison. That's why these stories never run out. Feel me? They'll run out eventually, don't get me wrong. It ain't like it's an unlimited amount. But at the same time, there's so many of them to come, and I'm going to just keep on dropping that real spill for y'all no matter what. I appreciate y'all watching this video, though. Y'all make sure y'all drop in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know, man, if y'all ever been locked up and, you know, you was in the school building or you was in the kitchen and seen someone get wet in the middle of when you're trying to better yourself. You're in there learning how to cook biscuits. Or your ass was in the school building like me on a computer trying to get your GED and some shit goes down. You feel me? Y'all drop it in the comment section, man. I appreciate y'all, like I always say. Y'all make sure you keep them squares, rats, clowns, chomos, snakes, heavy gunners, them pedos, them low-key tattletellers. Keep all them out your circle, man. And at the end of the day, do what you got to do to prosper. And I'll catch y'all next time, man. This is Frog.